Hey, the tipping point with Jordan Oliver of MLW and AWE and um, a host of other groups. He was a combat zone guy at one point as well. And Les Thatcher, old school extraordinaire, went very well. I think it was much more in line of our sort of traditional format of the tipping point, and it was nice to get back to actually interviewing people, especially people as diverse as Jordan Oliver and Les Thatcher. Kudos to Larry for lining that up. 2019 Georgia Wrestling Award Legend winner. I'm going to give my thoughts, and a lot of it is just what was going through my head. I don't expect these videos, these sort of post show reaction videos, to get a lot of views. It's not really the point. It's just sort of to mark in time, really for myself, what was going through my mind, why I made certain choices that I made, and certain things that got brought up that sort of inspired me to think about other things. And then maybe in turn you will find them interesting. I've been told too that a lot of people watch my videos, and this is not a joke at all, as sort of like a weird ASMR thing. I say weird because that's a judgy word. I don't want to be judgy. But some people say that they listen to me as they go to sleep, maybe to help them go to sleep, which might be a slight indictment on me. But they said that they like the sound of my voice and me talking, and it makes them feel comfortable and it's familiar.
I love when you make videos while I'm going to bed. It helps me soothe down by you screaming about wrestling. Also, YouTube, please don't demonetize him by copyright laws if Rysel leaks into his awkward silences.
I'm looking forward to having the problem of being monetized so I can be demonetized. That's something to look forward to. Though I think my other daughter would be very proud that I found a way to get people to comment more and to click like or dislike on my videos more. But you and I will talk about that later in our post meeting. By the way, people are already donating to the big fundraiser I do for the Arnold Palmer Children's Hospital.
Yes.
I had somebody broke the ice. This is cool. Yeah, come over here. So somebody donated $1 anonymously. I think just to break the ice, so I would start having donations, which I thought was really cool. And then and Matt Griffin put in $25. Matt Griffin, who is no stranger to knowing how to raise money for a charity, I certainly appreciate it, Matt. I thank you very much. I still haven't updated my website and dedicated it, but this year I'm calling it hashtag beat the bots, because there are some people asked me to explain what that meant. So this is as good a time as any to explain it. So I play Marvel Contest of Champions for 24 hours straight, and it's an arena that takes place from 1 in the afternoon on the Sunday and ends at 1 in the afternoon on Monday, which I do it on President's Day just for continuity's sake. And every year, my goal is to raise $1,000 through independent donations. And I'm already off and running, which is very nice. And I haven't hit that goal. It's gone up every year. Went from 100 to 300 to 400 to 600 last year. My goal is to hit 1,000. And then I try to find matching funds and that kind of thing. This year, whoever donates the most money, by the way, is going to win a very nice gift bag, which is going to include the Bruiser Brody shirt that I got a double of. I'm going to throw that in there. I'm also going to throw you a Stephen Platinum shirt whenever I get the rights to make it. Nice. Look at this action going on. And I'm gonna get my job to chip in a whole lot of stuff too. So it'll be a lot of stuff worth a whole lot of money, but more importantly than that, it's just my way of saying thank you. And oh, I just thought of another prize I could throw in, though I shouldn't promise it in case I can't get it made. But if I can get it made, whoever donates the most money to the cause, I will get an honorary Goodman Award. That would be pretty amazing, right? Oh,
That's so fun.
that's cool. That's my goal anyway, to get that together. No promises yet. So You're about to go to sleep, but before you do, I'm going to finish this video. So, is there anything you guys want to say before I give my post-show thoughts and unbox?
My soon-to-be catchphrase when I get to make my own YouTube channel. Eat your ice cubes! Eat your ice cubes! Eat them!
Eat your ice cubes?
Ice cubes, almighty! Ice cubes will lie!
Okay, go to bed. Apologies.
That's what we call living, breathing birth control. Right there, her yelling about ice cubes. Anything you would like to say? You got to get used to Daddy saying crazy stuff. It's what I do.
I just want to eat my cookie, Dad.
Go eat the yo-yo cookie. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your youth. And now I'm going to unbox really quick, and then I'm going to give some thoughts. The heck? It's from Threadless. Yeah, Threadless makes the weirdest shirts out of the regular places where I get shirts.
Let's go. Weird shirt.
It's a girl praying, so I'm already scared. Are you ready? I'm going to unbox it in real time with you like I did yesterday. Whoosh. What does it say?
May they burn it. Oh my God, is that Wednesday Addams?
It says, may they burn in hell. Putting this on. No! Who sent this to me? Oh my gosh. But for some reason, a lot of people send me stuff and they don't let me know right away. I think they just like me to have to try to guess. By the way, let me put this challenge out. A number of people, when I opened up the shirt that had the picture of me and me with bleeding Jeff G, good old Uncle Jeff. I cut him open and someone made a shirt of it. A couple of people were disappointed because they were going to do variations of that and give it to me. Here's my thing. You have until, let's say, the end of February. Don't be dissuaded by the fact that somebody printed out that picture, slapped it on a shirt, and sent it to me. If you've got a cooler version of that you want to do, send it to me by all means, and then we're going to have a competition. Which shirt wins?
Which shirt wins?
Which shirt wins? I'm all about competition. That's my platinum challenge. All right, let's talk about the post show. All right, any last things before I get to the post show?
Shirt. Yeah. Cookie time.
Cookie time. All right. Jordan Oliver. First impression, he sounds young. I thought maybe we were being pranked. I'm like, you think he just gets like a little tiny brother? I mean, he sounds super young. Carries himself very well in the ring. Jimmy Rave asked me to look and see what you think. And at times he was sort of choppy. At times he was sort of late on spots. But then once he got it going, he was phenomenal. I thought the tag match that he wrestled in was particularly good. I imagine that Young, Dumb, and Broke, that tag team, is phenomenal and really fits the sort of AWE mold, a very modern style of wrestling. I like that he was young. I like that he was brash. Les Thatcher was a great contrast, whereas Les Thatcher was exactly what you would expect him to be. I would be curious to have them on at the same time. And the reason is, at one point I thought when Larry told me they were going to be our guests, we should have them do some overlap. But then I thought, no, maybe that wouldn't be as interesting as I thought. But now, after hearing Jordan Oliver speak, I think it would have been. Because what I was afraid of is that Jordan Oliver would have been too deferential. And I don't think he would have been. Not that he was a disrespectful guy in the least, but I think he was a guy that was not apologizing for being 20 years old and having the mindset of, I'm just going to do whatever I feel like doing to the best of my ability for as long as I'm going to do it. It's what was interesting to me is how there were ideas and concepts that both Jordan Oliver and Les Thatcher put out that overlapped. For instance, neither one of them imagined getting to be very old. Les Thatcher said at one point, younger me would have never imagined being this old. And I think that vibe came across from Jordan Oliver as well, where he's like, I don't know how long I'm going to be alive, so I'm just going to do my thing. Nobody thinks they're going to live. Everybody wants to live probably a long time, but nobody seems to conceive of the fact that they will. I certainly didn't know what I was going to be like at 47, soon to be 48. Oh my gosh, 2.5, 3 weeks. Um, other things about Jordan Oliver. I think MLW is a great fit for him. I think it's a better fit for him than like AEW, strangely enough. And I think the reason is MLW has a stronger definition of their identity than AEW does. I don't think AEW knows quite what it wants to be yet because they seem to realize, because their thing is more goal oriented than league oriented. Here's what I mean. I think their goal was just to be seen as viable. They succeeded. I think their goal was to be number 2 right out of the jump. They succeeded. And then their further range goals, now they're hitting. Now they just got re-signed for 3 years. Now that they are signed for 3 years, will that mean that they will be comfortable enough to begin to really flesh out and define who they are? I hope it does. Talking to Jordan Oliver actually made me more hopeful about the modern wrestling because kids are going to be all right. I think guys like, it reminded me of guys in the Georgia scene who give me a lot of hope. Joe Black gives me a lot of hope. Logan Creed gives me a lot of hope. The Lynches give me a lot of hope. Danny Jordan gives me a lot of hope. Shalandra Royal, Ruthless Lala, they all give me hope. The fact that you got Robert Gibson training in the same place QT Marshall is training, and AR Fox, that all gives me hope. Hell, if you look at that top 10 of wrestling groups, it's actually 12, right? Because I had 3 people at number 10, and they're all viable, and they're all going for it. And none of them seem to in danger of closing anytime soon, even groups that I thought might. So it's all very hopeful. And there are groups that are turning weaknesses into strengths. And I think that's what Jordan Oliver is doing instinctively and what Les Thatcher has done throughout a 40 to 60 year career, right? I thought it was also interesting that Les Thatcher started at a very young age, just like Jordan Oliver did. I think it's interesting. I think that those guys have way more in common than I thought they would. And that was what I found them to be the most interesting thing. Which is at some point somebody had to reach down and help those guys. And in Jordan Oliver's case, it may have been other people as well, but it was Jimmy Rave. And I think with Les Thatcher, at some point you got to reach down and you got to pull somebody up. And sometimes the problem is there are people reaching down to pull people up who have no business reaching down because they're not above anybody. That's just being honest. And sometimes the problem is it's just a sheer mercenary exchange, and it's just about money, and that's problematic as well. And sometimes the problem is people don't want to get pulled up. They just want to reach the next level, but they don't want to feel like they have to owe anybody to do it, or they think they don't need the help. Well, let me encourage everybody, including me. One of the nicest things that Matt Hankins wrote in that letter was the thing that he respected was I wasn't afraid to reach out to friends for help. And you should reach out for help, whether that's mental health, whether that's getting ahead in the business, whether it's learning something, whether it's even just to have somebody that can tell you from afar, here's what I think that you do that you're doing wrong. I try to do that for people. People do that for me. And I think it helps a lot. I may come across as incredibly brash and sort of a know-it-all, and in a lot of ways I am. At the same time, did you just snort? Did you just snort a laugh, child?
You're right.
Go to bed.
It's upside down. No, you.
No, you. No, you. That kid is clever. Clever. this is strangely the theme that I got from Jordan Oliver and Les Thatcher. It's the common thread, the foundation that bound them both, whether they knew it or not. And that is this idea of learning and different ways of learning. There's learning from the voices of others and studying the history of things. That's the Les Thatcher way. But Jordan Oliver's is just as valid, which is you learn through doing and trying and failing and then trying again. Both are equally valid and should be done in equal measure. And that's my post-show reaction. Probably different than you thought it was going to be, different than I thought it was going to be. Good night. See you in the next tipping point.